Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be unpacking a pretty fascinating source for you.
Oh?
It's a YouTube video called The Threads of Fate by L.S. Larkey and Atlantean Astrology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And basically the premise is it's a tale about a soul that has been scattered into these enchanted objects inside this mysterious castle,
Oh, wow.
waiting to be pieced back together.
Sounds intriguing. I'm really curious to see how that concept plays out.
Yeah, me too.
You know, the idea of a fragmented soul woven into everyday items is kind of a unique way to think about legacy.
Yeah.
About how we leave pieces of ourselves behind in the world.
Mm-hmm, totally. So picture this.
Okay,
It all takes place in this ancient castle perched on top of these windswept cliffs,
Okay.
older than time itself,
Okay, good.
home to this young boy who lives there completely alone.
Okay.
But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
This castle isn't just his home. It almost seems to have a personality of its own.
Oh, wow.
A way of communicating with him.
I think that sense of isolation is key here, you know?
Yeah.
It allows for this really unique relationship to develop
Yeah.
between the boy and the castle.
Yeah.
And the video calls the subtle communication the whispers.
Oh, wow.
Almost like the castle anticipates his needs
Yeah.
and guides him in a way.
Exactly. Like how his clothes are always laid out for him, or the furniture shifts just slightly to accommodate him.
Oh, wow.
But it's on his 12th birthday that things take a dramatic turn.
Okay.
There's this wardrobe in his room.
Okay.
It's always open when he needs it,
Mm-hmm.
but this time it's glowing.
Oh.
And inside, there's this incredible garment woven with threads of silver and gold.
So this garment is actually the first thread he finds.
Oh, wow.
It's the first fragment of a scattered soul.
Okay.
And it's not just anyone's soul. It's revealed to be a piece of his deceased father's soul.
Oh, wow.
Wow, it's almost like a tangible piece of his father's legacy.
I love that.
Yeah.
And the video really emphasizes this connection to the father.
Yeah.
And this first thread represents strength. But it's not just about physical power.
Right.
The garment reveals that strength has two sides.
Okay.
Bravery, yes, but also violence.
Mm-hmm.
And it suggests that the boy's father embodied both aspects.
It's a powerful reminder that strength is complex.
Yeah.
You know, it can be used constructively or destructively.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it challenges us to consider how we wield our own inner strength.
Yeah.
Are we using it to build others up or to tear them down?
That's such a good point. We often think of strength as this positive trait,
Yeah.
but unchecked, it can have harmful consequences.
Yeah.
It makes you think about real world examples of leaders who possessed great strength,
Mm-hmm.
Both for good and for bad.
Exactly. And that complexity is what makes this story so compelling.
Yeah.
The boy doesn't immediately understand all of this.
Right.
But finding that garment sets him on this quest to discover the other threads, the other pieces of his father's soul that are hidden throughout this vast castle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And each thread is found within a specific object.
Right.
So the second thread is mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's discovered in the most unlikely of places, a rocking chair.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? It seems so simple,
Mm-hmm.
but it represents a really powerful contrast
Yeah.
to the intensity of that first thread, strength.
It is brilliant. You know, the rocking chair
Yeah.
with its gentle, soothing motion
Yeah.
becomes a symbol of mercy and compassion.
Mm.
And the rocking chair whispers to him, that carrying mercy means carrying the weight of sorrow and forgiveness.
That idea of forgiveness being a burden
Yeah.
is so thought-provoking.
It is.
I find myself wondering, have I ever truly forgiven someone who's hurt me deeply?
Right.
Or am I still carrying that weight around?
Yeah.
It's challenging to think about, the times we've maybe held on to resentment
Yeah.
instead of offering true mercy.
It makes you examine your own capacity for forgiveness, doesn't it?
Totally.
And the video seems to be saying that true forgiveness involves letting go of the hurt,
Mm-hmm.
both for ourselves and the person who wronged us.
Absolutely.
It's not about condoning the action, but about releasing ourselves from that bitterness.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, the journey doesn't stop there.
Okay.
He keeps exploring,
Mm-hmm.
and he finds himself in this dusty room with a single ornate mirror.
Wow.
And within that mirror lies the thread of foundation.
Mirrors are such potent symbols in storytelling.
Aren't they? They reflect not only our outward appearance,
Right.
but they also kind of hint at our inner truths.
Yeah.
And in this case, the mirror shows the boy two contrasting visions.
Oh, interesting.
So first he sees this figure completely consumed by vanity.
Okay.
their world is crumbling around them.
Oh.
It's like a warning against building your life on fleeting appearances.
Yeah.
It makes me think about those Instagram influencers,
Yeah.
whose lives seem perfect on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
But beneath it all, there's often a lot of insecurity and emptiness.
It's a stark reminder that vanity ultimately leads to an unstable foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second vision the boy sees is of a figure built on honesty and integrity,
Okay.
standing firm against any storm.
Mm-hmm.
It suggests that true strength comes from aligning your actions with your values.
Yeah, I like that.
Makes you think about what we're building our own lives on,
Yeah.
Are we focused on outward appearances
Right.
and seeking validation from others?
Yeah.
Or are we cultivating inner strength and integrity?
It's a good question to ask ourselves, isn't it?
For sure.
The video seems to be saying that building a solid foundation starts with being true to yourself and living a life that aligns with your deepest values.
And there's this implication that the boy's father also struggled with these ideas of vanity and integrity. It adds a layer of complexity to his character, reminding us that even those we admire have their flaws.
Absolutely. It humanizes the father and makes the story even more relatable.
For sure.
It's not about achieving perfection.
Yeah.
It's about striving to be better,
Yeah.
to build a life on something solid and true.
So we have strength, mercy, and foundation so far.
Okay.
But the journey isn't over yet.
Right.
The boy continues exploring the castle,
Okay.
and he finds himself face to face with this figure shrouded in darkness.
Oh, wow.
This, my friend, is justice.
I'm intrigued to see how they portray justice in this story.
Yeah.
Often it's depicted as a blindfolded figure with scales, just weighing right and wrong.
Yeah.
But here it seems much more nuanced.
You're absolutely right. This justice figure wants the boy to understand,
Oh.
not just punish.
Yeah. Okay.
It emphasizes that true justice requires empathy
Yeah.
and seeing the whole picture.
That's such a powerful message.
Oh, no.
It challenges us to look beyond the surface
Yeah.
and consider the motivations and circumstances that led someone to do wrong. It's about seeking understanding rather than simply passing judgment.
And the figure even warns the boy that judging without understanding is cruelty. It argues that true justice seeks to restore harmony and balance,
Yeah.
not just inflict punishment.
Right.
It makes you think about our current justice system
Right.
and how often it focuses on retribution
Yeah.
rather than rehabilitation.
Yeah. It does raise some challenging questions about how we approach justice
Right.
in our own lives and in society as a whole.
For sure.
Are we quick to judge, or do we take the time to understand?
So much to ponder. The boy now carries the threads of strength, mercy, foundation, and justice.
Wow.
But the tome shifts as he's guided towards this grand chamber,
Okay.
adorned with these beautiful tapestries.
Okay.
And it's here that he encounters splendor.
Ah, yes, splendor.
Yeah.
It seems like a departure from the heavier themes we've explored so far.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how they connect this concept to the overall narrative.
Me too. At the center of this chamber is this glowing orb,
Okay.
pulsating with light.
Oh, wow.
And it tells the boy that understanding splendor is about understanding the path he must walk in life.
Interesting.
The video uses this metaphor here.
Oh.
Life is a mountain.
Okay.
It explains that men are born at the bottom,
Okay.
and they must strive to climb upward
Mm-hmm.
to become something greater than what they were at birth.
Okay.
It sounds like a metaphor for personal growth and self-improvement.
I like that.
Yes. And it emphasizes that splendor isn't about reaching the peak quickly or easily.
Yeah.
It's about the journey itself, the challenges overcome,
Yeah.
the growth achieved along the way.
Right.
It also introduces this kind of fascinating idea
Okay.
that women are born at the top of the mountain,
Yeah.
embodying splendor.
See, that's where I start to feel a bit uneasy.
Okay.
To say that women inherently embody splendor feels a bit reductive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It seems to imply that men must strive to reach a level that women are already at. It seems to reinforce traditional gender roles
Right.
rather than celebrating individual journeys.
I see your point.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how this concept will be developed further
Mm-hmm.
and if it will be addressed in a way that feels more balanced and inclusive.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an open mind, but also remaining critical of this particular idea.
I think that's the best approach.
Yeah.
We can appreciate the story's attempt to explore these complex themes,
Right.
but also acknowledge the potential for problematic interpretations.
Well said. So the boy takes the thread of splendor,
Okay.
but there's this sense that he hasn't quite grasped its full meaning yet.
Right.
There's still more threads to be found, more lessons to be learned.
Okay.
As he continues exploring, he finds himself drawn to a room filled with, well, let's just say you'll have to wait for part 2 of this deep dive to discover what awaits him there.
I'm definitely on the edge of my seat.
Me too.
I can't wait to uncover the secrets hidden within those walls.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I bet it is.
All right, so stay tuned and we'll be back soon.
I will. You know, that metaphor of life as a mountain really stayed with me.
Yeah.
It makes you think about what we're all striving for,
Right.
you know, those higher levels of understanding we're trying to reach.
Totally. Such a powerful image. But let's get back to our boy and his journey through the castle.
Okay.
Remember that mysterious room I mentioned?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out to be a bookworm's paradise.
Oh, wow.
A room overflowing with books, scrolls,
Oh, wow.
ancient knowledge,
Yeah.
just waiting to be unearthed.
A classic symbol. The library as this repository of wisdom.
Right.
A place where you can just lose yourself in the pursuit of knowledge.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if the boy will find answers to those questions he's been carrying about his father and himself.
Yeah, maybe so. The atmosphere in this room is described as almost electric.
Oh, wow.
Like the air itself is buzzing with the weight of all that accumulated knowledge.
Oh, wow.
And at the center of it all is this open book on a desk
Okay.
with a line of shimmering text that just calls out to the boy.
So this is where he encounters the thread of knowledge.
Okay.
But like with the other threads, it's not presented as this like simple concept.
Right.
The voice of knowledge warns the boy that truth isn't always what we want it to be.
Yeah.
It suggests that the pursuit of knowledge can actually lead to uncomfortable or even painful discoveries.
It reminds me of that saying, ignorance is bliss.
Right.
Sometimes knowing more can make things feel more complicated.
Yeah.
But the video seems to be saying that that's a price worth paying for true understanding.
Yeah. I think it's a delicate balance, you know?
Right.
On the one hand, knowledge is power. It can empower us to make better choices in our lives.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, as the video suggests, some truths can be really difficult to face.
Right.
You know, it requires a lot of courage to seek knowledge, even when it challenges our beliefs
Right.
or makes us question the things that we thought we knew.
That's so true. I can think about times in my own life when learning something new
Mm.
completely shifted my perspective, even if it was initially uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling of realizing the world is much bigger, more complex than we initially thought.
Exactly. And that's where the next thread comes in. Understanding.
Oh, okay.
It's found in this small box tucked away on a shelf,
Oh, wow.
almost like it was deliberately hidden.
Okay.
And when the boy opens it, a voice explains that understanding is the bridge between knowledge and wisdom.
That's a really interesting distinction.
Yeah.
So it's not just about accumulating facts and information,
Right.
but about what we do with that knowledge.
Precisely. Understanding is about making sense of the information.
Okay.
You know, seeing the connections, grasping the deeper meaning.
Yeah.
It's not just about knowing the ingredients,
Yeah.
but also understanding how to bake the cake.
Okay. I like that. It's like the difference between reading a book
Mm-hmm.
and truly internalizing its message, applying it to your life.
Right. And the voice in the box tells the boy that his father understood this well. He didn't just seek knowledge for the sake of knowing.
Right.
He sought to understand it,
Yeah.
to apply it,
Mhm.
to make wise decisions.
It seems like the video is suggesting that true power lies not in what we know,
Right.
but in how we understand and apply that knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
especially in today's world, where we're just bombarded with information from all sides.
Right.
That ability to discern truth from falsehood
Yeah,
and make sense of it all is crucial.
absolutely. You know, it's not enough to just passively absorb information.
Right.
We need to engage with it critically, question it,
Yeah.
make connections,
Right.
and form our own understanding.
It all comes back to that idea of life as a mountain, constantly striving for greater understanding.
Mm.
So far, the boy has gathered the threads of strength, mercy, foundation, knowledge, and understanding.
Okay.
But as he approaches the grand staircase leading down to the lower levels of the castle, there's this sense of foreboding,
Oh, wow.
like there's this palpable presence there,
Okay.
this cold, distant energy that seems to be watching him.
Oh, wow.
He knows instinctively that this is where he'll find wisdom,
Oh, okay.
the last thread.
It makes you wonder what he'll have to face to earn this final thread.
Yeah.
The video has made it clear that wisdom isn't something that's given freely.
Right.
It's something earned, often through hardship and facing difficult truths.
And the staircase itself is described as dark and treacherous.
Oh, wow.
The steps are worn and uneven,
Okay.
symbolizing the difficult path to wisdom,
Yeah.
what awaits him at the bottom,
Right.
and how will this final revelation complete his understanding of his father and himself.
Those are the big questions.
I know.
And unfortunately, we'll have to wait until part 3 of our deep dive to discover the secrets of that last thread.
Don't worry, we'll be back soon to unravel those mysteries together.
Okay, sounds good.
In the meantime,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the threads we've explored so far?
Yeah.
What's resonating most with you and why? Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into the threads of fate.
All right.
We've journeyed with this young boy, through this whole crazy castle, uncovering the scattered pieces of his father's soul.
Yeah.
And now he stands before the final door,
Okay.
ready to encounter the last thread, wisdom.
Ooh. I'm so curious to see what awaits him behind that door.
Me too.
Throughout this whole video, wisdom has been presented as something earned,
Right.
often through facing difficult truths about ourselves and the world.
Yeah.
It feels like this culmination of all the other threads he's gathered.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the video really builds the suspense here,
Yeah.
describing, this final descent down the grand staircase,
Yeah.
this darkness of the hallway leading to that imposing door.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a journey into the unknown, both literally and metaphorically.
And behind that door,
Yeah.
in this vast, empty chamber,
Okay.
he finds the last thread glowing on a pedestal.
Okay.
It's described as pulsating with this ethereal light, casting shadows that dance across the floor.
Oh, wow.
It feels almost sacred, like
Yeah.
he's entering a holy space.
Yeah, the imagery is so powerful.
Yeah.
And as the boy reaches for that final thread,
Okay.
this voice fills the room.
Okay.
But it's different from all the voices he's encountered before.
Okay.
It's deeper, more resonant,
Oh, wow.
carrying like the weight of eternity. It
Interesting.
feels like something greater than his father,
Yeah.
something that speaks to the very essence of existence.
And that's when the video takes this fascinating turn.
Oh, okay.
The voice tells the boy that free will isn't about having endless choices,
Oh, wow.
but about discovering the singular truth that lies at the heart of everything.
That's a mind-bending concept.
I know, right?
We tend to think of free will as the ability to choose our path,
Right.
to forge our own destiny.
Yeah.
But here it's presented as a way to uncover a truth that already exists,
Mm-hmm.
a truth that binds all of creation together.
It suggests that there's this ultimate purpose to our lives. It's a destination we're all striving towards,
Yeah.
even if we don't consciously realize it.
Okay.
And that free will,
Yeah.
with all its messy choices and mistakes,
Yeah.
is actually the tool that helps us find our way.
So it's like we're given this freedom to explore, to experiment, to make
Yeah.
our own choices.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
ultimately, all those paths lead to the same destination,
Right.
the same fundamental truth.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand why this thread is wisdom.
You too.
It's this perspective that transcends individual experience and speaks to something much larger.
Exactly. And that's where the video reveals what that truth is.
Okay.
The voice tells the boy that the singular truth,
Okay.
the one way that leads to eternal life,
Okay.
is love.
It's such a simple yet profound message.
It is.
It resonates with so many spiritual traditions and philosophies.
Totally.
Love as the ultimate force, the driving force behind everything that exists.
And the video suggests that this was the ultimate wisdom the boy's father discovered. That love is the answer,
Yeah.
the key to a truly meaningful life.
And it's not just this passive kind of love.
Right.
The video emphasizes walking in love,
Okay.
actively embracing it, letting it guide our actions and shape our relationships with others.
It's a call to live a life that's not just focused on ourselves,
Right.
but outward-facing, compassionate,
Yeah.
rooted in connection and love for others.
It's about recognizing that we're all part of something much larger than ourselves.
And as the boy takes that final thread of wisdom,
Okay.
he feels this profound sense of peace and understanding.
Oh, wow.
It's as if all the pieces of his father's soul, all the lessons he's learned,
Yeah.
all come together in that moment.
Beautiful culmination to his journey.
I know.
He started out searching for his father, but ended up finding something even greater, a deeper understanding of himself, the world, and the ultimate purpose of life.
And that's the real power of this video, isn't it?
I think so.
It uses this metaphor of these threads.
Yeah.
These pieces of a soul scattered throughout the castle to explore these universal truths about life, the challenges we face, the choices we make, and the destination we're all striving towards.
It's given us a lot to think about, hasn't it?
It really has.
What are our own threads of fate?
Yeah, what values do we hold dear?
Yeah, what lessons are we learning?
What truths are we seeking?
Yeah, and perhaps, even more importantly, how can we strive to weave those threads together to create this tapestry of meaning and purpose that honors the wisdom of those who came before us?
That's something to consider as we navigate our own journeys, our own mountains to climb, and our own truths to discover.
Absolutely.
Well, that is it for today's deep dive into the threads of fate.
Okay.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking those threads of fate that connect us all.
I will, you too.